We've all been there, right? You're staring at this huge task you absolutely have to do, but suddenly, organizing your sock drawer seems like the most important job in the world. Well, today, we are going to tackle procrastination head-on with a simple, kind of shocking solution that only takes 120 seconds. Let's get into it. It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? That initial push, that very first step, can feel like trying to move a mountain. It's the exact moment when all our resistance, all our anxiety, and all our doubt just comes rushing to the surface. But understanding why that hurdle is so high is the first step to getting over it. And this leads us straight into what I call the procrastination trap. It's that awful feeling of being completely stuck, just paralyzed by a task before you've even started. And this right here is the heart of it. It's not because you don't know what to do or because you don't want the final result. Of course you do. We know the report needs to get written. We know the kitchen needs to be cleaned. The whole system breaks down when we face that initial wall of effort, which our brain basically flags as a threat to be avoided at all costs. So what if we could just shrink that wall? Turn it into a tiny little step that you could just hop over? Well, that is the brilliant idea behind the 2-minute rule, a productivity hack made famous by writers like James Clear and David Alley.
The key here is a huge shift in focus. We get so obsessed with the finish line that we end up dreading the starting gun. This rule completely flips that script. It basically says, hey, forget about finishing, just focus on starting. It is a complete mental reframe.
This is the first and honestly the most straightforward part of the rule. It's a simple, powerful command that acts like a filter for your daily life. It's not about trying to find time later, it's about realizing that for some things, the perfect time is right now. And this rule isn't just one simple trick. It's more like a two-pronged attack on procrastination. It's designed to handle both the small, annoying stuff and those giant, scary goals. So we've got two different ways to use this. On one side, you've got quick wins. This is all about clearing out the mental clutter of all those tiny, nagging to-dos. And then the other side, you've got habit hacking, and this is the real game changer. This is the strategy you use for those big, life-changing goals that always feel too far away to even begin. Okay, let's start with part 1. Think about all those little tasks that are just floating around in your head all day, creating this low-grade hum of stress. Productivity experts call these open loops. The do-it-now idea is designed to shut them down instantly. Every single one of these little actions gives you a tiny hit of dopamine, a little feeling of accomplishment. But what's more important is that each action is like a small vote you cast for a new identity. You're not just doing a task, you're becoming the kind of person who just gets things done. Now let's see how this builds into the second, and arguably more life-changing part of the rule. This part is all about crushing procrastination on your biggest ambitions by making it ridiculously easy to get started.
So here's the crucial thing to get. This isn't a moral failing. You're not lazy. You are simply up against a high level of what chemists call activation energy. It's the minimum amount of energy needed to get a reaction going. For us, it's that mental push to start a task. The goal of the 2-minute rule is to get that energy requirement as close to zero as humanly possible.
Look at how these examples totally reframe the goal. You're not committing to a 1-hour workout. You're just committing to putting on your shoes. You don't have to write a whole report. Just open the document and give it a title. I mean, anyone can do that, right? It makes the task so small, it's almost impossible not to do it. You prove to yourself that you're a writer simply by opening the page. So why is this little trick so ridiculously effective? Well, it's not magic. It's all about hacking a fundamental principle of both psychology and, well, physics, momentum. This brings us to the perfect metaphor, Newton's first law of motion. The hardest part of any task is just overcoming that initial inertia. But once you get moving, even just a little bit, it takes way less energy to keep moving. That initial resistance, that friction, that's what holds us back. But after just 120 seconds, your relationship with the task has completely changed. You're no longer thinking about starting because you're already doing it. And it's so much easier to write one more sentence, do one more push-up, or practice one more chord. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this super practical. Here is a simple 4-step action plan you can literally use today. First, you gotta be honest. What's that big goal you're avoiding? Second, shrink the start. Make it laughably small. Third, schedule it. Seriously, put that 2-minute action in your calendar. And fourth, and this is the absolute key, you have to commit to it. No exceptions. You can always stop after 2 minutes, but you must start. Here are some really concrete examples. You want to read more books? Your task isn't read a book, it's read one page. You want to meditate daily? Don't even think about 20 minutes. Just sit and focus for 60 seconds. Each one of these starts reinforces the identity you want to build, and it makes the next start that much easier.
And this really gets to the core of the issue. Later is a fantasy land where we have infinite time and motivation. It's the favorite hiding place for procrastination. The 2-minute rule forces us out of later and into the reality of now. Remember this, every book ever written, every marathon ever run, every company ever built, they all started with a single, small action. One word, one step, one idea. They all began with their own 2-minute start.
So, the power is in your hands now. I'll leave you with this final thought. Look away from the screen, look at your to-do list, and ask yourself, what's one thing you can start and make progress on in just the next 2 minutes? Go do it.